Hi everyone, this is Dr. Edelman. Just wanted to explain to you a change in your major group book project. I have alluded to this before in an announcement. We are not going to do the separate books because many of them are very outdated and don't reflect the practices and procedures that we should be using with families, nor do they reflect the changes in legislation for families and children with special needs. So I wanted to change to a more updated book that I think that you're all going to enjoy, and that is this book right here, Melanie, Bird with a Broken Wing, A Mother's Story. The author is Beth Harry. All of the information that you need to order this book is in your syllabus, your updated syllabus, and I'm also attaching it to the announcement in the written format. So I want you to first order this book, and you can get it through Amazon however you want to order it, whatever makes you the most comfortable. And then I'm going to explain the steps that you need to go through in order to produce a successful assignment in a group format. So first, we have 10 groups, 5 people each. You can find your group under the group section in your toolbar of Blackboard. So the first step is you're going to order the book, and then you're going to read the book. So order to read the book. I would probably take some notes, underline, highlight, make sure that you're remembering very noteworthy things that are going on in the book, like events, something that's happening that's big, change of perspectives, because you're going to revisit all of these in your assignment. Then I'm going to ask that you complete a point of view chart and that you upload it to your group blog. So this is the point of view chart right here. You see that it has who's involved. Select one of the protagonists. How does he or she think, feel, or act? Why might he or she feel this way? And what else might I need to find out? So this is really just taking on perspectives of characters in the book. In this case, the book is a true story. So it wouldn't just be characters, it would be real people. So you're going to really delve into their point of view, how they're thinking, how they're feeling, and anything else that you would need to kind of step into their shoes. So what I want you to do is, for your groups, everybody's going to do a point of view chart for a different person in the book. You can definitely do Melanie, who the book is about. This is a child with special needs. You can do any of the family members, the professionals, educational professionals. You can do medical professionals, friends. So it really doesn't matter who you pick for me, as long as everybody's doing a different one. And then I'm asking that you are going to comment on each of your members' posts. So you're going to react to their point of view chart. You're going to actually find out more about all the characters through this process. Then I'm asking that you read the Habits of Mind article, and you'll find a hyperlink in both your syllabus and in the instructions that I'm posting with this announcement. So after that, you're going to create your own book. I have suggested the Book Creator app, but you can use any kind of application that you can create a book or some kind of presentation that's a little bit different than a PowerPoint. If you really feel comfortable with PowerPoint and you want to do that, that's fine, but you're going to have to include a lot of information. You're also going to have to do a voiceover where you're talking through the information. So I don't just want print on a slide, I want you to talk me through it. And when I say talk me through it, I don't mean just reading the words on the slide, because I can do that myself. I mean, you should have all of your ideas and you should be able to explain them in a way that makes me understand what you're saying and also demonstrates your knowledge of the book. All right, so you're going to create a book, and it's going to include the following information. So let's make this easier for you. First, the family characteristics and interactions in the book using the family systems theory and the model and the family cultural values and practices. So the family systems theory is in your book, and I also have a hyperlink to what that is. You can Google it if you want to, but you should know because it's been discussed in your book throughout. So I want you to discuss the characteristics and interactions in the family using this model. Next, I want you to discuss the perspectives of every major character in the book. You'll be very aware of who the major characters are. If somebody's mentioned once or twice, it's not a major character. You don't need to discuss them now, but they might be more appropriate later in the assignment where I ask for you to discuss interactions. Next, I want you to describe and analyze the process of assessment, diagnosis, and intervention, and make sure to include how the family was involved. So there's a very clear and highlighted process of identification, of assessment, of diagnosis, and then of interventions to help Melanie. So talk about this process and talk about how the family was involved in this process. Next, I want you to give me a list of interventions based on the family's cultural values and practices. So you will find that the book talks a lot about the different interventions they use for Melanie, how they can make her more independent. And I want you to kind of talk about these interventions and how they are reflecting the family's cultural values and beliefs. So all families have a list of priorities, a list of needs that they want, and they usually are able to communicate these to professionals so everybody can work together on interventions to help the child achieve the family's priorities. So I want you to think about that when you are talking about the list of interventions based on the family's cultural values and practices. Next, I want you to discuss major changes in beliefs and perspectives of Beth throughout the book. So Beth is the mother. She is writing the book from her point of view, but also assumes the point of view of others at times. So please think about how her perspective is changing as the process is going on, and how her beliefs are changing also. So you're going to look for turning points. So turning points would be thinking one thing and then having maybe assessment results, having maybe a discussion with a medical professional or a friend, and then it's a turning point in a belief or in a perspective. I want you to continue with a description and analysis of interactions between the family and the educational and medical professionals. It doesn't need to be every single interaction. You can just kind of group them or give me a summation, but I do want you to analyze how did these interactions go? Were they positive? Were they negative? How were they received? What were the outcomes? So think about that. Also, I want you to continue with the description and analysis of interactions between families and friends. The same lines. How were these interactions perceived? Were they positive? Were they negative? Were they negative? What is the outcome? Lastly, I want you to do a habits of mind component. So since you read the Habits of Mind article, I want you to list the habits of mind. We can't really see that. I want you to list the habits of mind that professionals working with children and families with special needs that they need to internalize. What habits of mind should they be internalizing when they work with these families of children with special needs? Explain why you selected these habits of mind and which habits of mind do you use often and which ones do you feel like you have not yet mastered. So for this portion, I want everybody to do their own slide of what habits of mind do you use often and which do you feel that you still have not mastered and you would like to work on. Lastly, I want you to all do your own version of this as well. What is the most important lesson that you have learned from reading and analyzing this book? Okay, so throughout all of these different aspects that I'm asking for, all of the components and criteria, you're going to do that together. So you can split it up, you can do it in teams, however you want, but the very end, the habits of mind, and also the most important lesson that you have gathered from the book, I want you to do that independently. So you'll have a whole group work. You know, the book is all group work, and then at the end, you're going to do your own individual portion. So this is due December 4th by 11:59. It's the very end of the semester, but do not leave it till the end of the semester. As you see, it's a very detailed assignment, and I really want you to demonstrate that you have read and internalized and understood the perspectives, the interactions, the processes that are going on in this book So you can report back to me and discuss all of these requirements and criteria in a way that is very thoughtful and thorough. You don't need to give me a whole novel, but do make sure that you cover all of the criteria thoroughly so I know, and so you demonstrate that that you've understood and read this book. So if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. You can call me at my office. I'm at my office a few days a week, so you might not be able to reach me, but you can definitely reach me via Blackboard message. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of your books.